Hi, I'm Phil Berman from Balance Catamarans, and I'm here in St. Francis, South Africa at the Nexus factory that builds the Balance 526 and the 620. I'm here with Roger Paarman. Roger really pretty much is the guy that keeps the grease wheels running around here, and most of our customers get to know him very well because he does the ordering and procurement and discussions about things. And one of the questions that we're asked a lot from customers is, do I really need a generator on my boat? And it's not the easiest question to answer because it obviously depends upon the sort of consumption that they want on their boats. And I could say a few things that I've learned in my experiences in boat building. And when we built boats in Brazil for about 10 years, my experience with many consumers was that their big concern was that they could run all of their air conditioning at anchor at night, and then they would then size their generator according to how much aircon they wanted to run.
That was the past.
That was in the past, yeah. And so what would happen is these 45, 46-foot catamarans would have 12 kW generators on them, which were incredibly heavy and very consumptive.
And noisy.
Because they wanted to run 35,000 BTUs of air. And what's been interesting with us at Balance is we see our customers vary a lot in how much air conditioning they want to run at anchor. What I would say is that my experience is that when boats are at anchor, generally speaking, they're turning into the wind, and you don't have the same air conditioning needs that you do when you're parked at a dock. Like if you're in Fort Lauderdale and you're at a dock and there's no wind blowing, it's 90 degrees outside, you need a lot of air. But there you can plug in. So then the question becomes, do I need a generator? If so, what size? And it becomes complicated because if you get a lithium-ion system, you have a lot of different options, and it's just something worth discussing, but we find that people run in different areas. So I'm going to let Roger talk a little bit about current technologies that we're using and some of the ways people are going, working with air conditioning and generators on their boats.
Well, like as Phil said, in the past the guys wanted a generator, and that was the only way to run an AC. Nowadays with technology and lithium-ion batteries and inverter technology on the actual aircon units, your consumption is a lot less. So, it's all about managing your power. It always has been. It's the same sort of equations, but with the inverters, 5,000 kilowatts, 10,000 kilowatts, you can run aircons. You can run 4 aircons, sort of 32,000 BTU all at the same time. You might not be able to start them all at once, but you could start one up. As they start up, generally they might pull 20 amps on startup, and then they'll drop down to 15 amps. So you start them one after the other. And then also depends on your battery bank size. With lithium ion, if you know lithium ion batteries, they push out their full power right to the end of their battery capacity. So in other words, from right till you get to 10% life left in your battery, they're pumping out everything they've got. Pretty much like your cell phone. I think everybody understands that your cell phone works until you see 10% battery. Now all of a sudden it shuts down. So your lithium ion does exactly the same thing. So with the lithium ion, you are able to run your aircons through the night, depending on your battery bank size. On the Balance, we offer 800 amp hours, 24 volt. So we've done that quite successfully, running four aircons right through the night. The advantage also of the lithium ion is when you do need to charge them up, they absorb the charge very, very quickly. So you can run your engines, because each boat basically has a high put alternator, 70 amps on each motor. So you could run one motor, pumping power back into it, and the lithium ion will just absorb it very quickly. So with technology,
the Balmars that we put on some of the boats, these are 120 amp alternators, correct?
No, they're 70 amp.
They're 70
They're
amp.
70 amp.
Okay.
70 amp per motor.
Okay,
per motor.
All right, per motor.
Per motor. That's an auxiliary alternator. Each engine comes with an alternator, but that's for charging its own startup battery. So you've got 2 battery banks essentially on each boat. You've got your startup and you've got your house bank. And the auxiliary alternator charges the house bank. And then with solar, the efficiency of solar panels now, and the glass panels, especially the ones we use, if you put a regulator per panel, you're getting the most efficient solar panel you possibly can have. So if you know, a lot of people say, well, you only need one regulator for 4 panels. If you get a partial shading on a panel, all of a sudden that entire bank is not pushing out its maximum capacity. But if you have 4 solar panels with 4 solar regulators, you know, one panel might get partially shaded, the other 2 are still working at their full capacity. So, you know, it's about balancing out your power consumption and what you draw. It's a simple.
Well, like the boat that we've got down here, hull number 7, she doesn't have a generator.
She doesn't have a generator. Yeah, we've the only reason we've put her on shore power during the sea trial, the testing phase, is just to see that it all works. Otherwise, we've unplugged her and she's managing herself with air cons running, fridges running, navigation equipment running.
She has like 5 panels that are 320 watts.
7 panels, 327 watts per panel.
Yeah,
So
she's really
she's
super self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys look at the walk-on panels. Yes, they have their advantages. I think in our experience, we've proved that the glass panels definitely give out more power. They also, you know, the way we raise them off the deck, you're getting a good airflow, keep them cool. It's hugely important. So, you know, the walk-on panels, as I say, you obviously can put them in more places, you know, but we just believe the glass panel for efficiency is the best.
It's killer to glue them down on the deck too.
It just
they burn. They get
very hot. They get very
so
hot. Yeah, they get hot.
I find that they don't work very efficiently at all. And,
well, the heat build-up, So I think, you know, each manufacturer has his, you know, he'll have his talk on his solar panels, but in our experience, the SunPower panel is very good.
So, who would you recommend get a generator? Who should get a generator?
Well, if you're not going to go with a lithium-ion battery bank, basically. That's it. Then you're going to need a generator to run air cons and washing machines and that. So,
these days, if you've got lithium and all the solar we're doing, you really don't need a generator, do you?
Well, enough lithium. You know, if you go and put one lithium-ion battery, you know, it's not enough. You're going to want to put, you know, 600 to 800 amp hours on your boat.
But you might want to get a larger inverter or a second inverter. That's the issue.
That's the issue. You'd want to up your inverter. You know, you just. Every equipment that's sold today, if you go look at the spec sheet, it's going to tell you the watts it draws, the amperage. You put it down on a spreadsheet, you work out what it's going to draw, look at your inverter, can it produce that much? Simple mathematical,
simple math.
It's a simple math.
Speaking just quickly, we were about the aircon units that we're using. You were telling me, because I haven't been down here in the cold, but apparently the reverse cycle on them really cranks out a lot of heat.
They're efficient down to 5-degree water, that's centigrade. So if your water's getting at 5 degrees, they're going to be, they're running efficiently and heating the boat up. So they're a reverse cycle aircon. So where Vingalati is going to go now to Seattle, Edwin and I did quite a lot of research, and I think Edwin a lot more research than I did. And we were going to put a heating system in his boat, and we've actually worked out that the air cons are going to be sufficient for him in Seattle, where it's, you know.
I saw that he has 250 amp shore power cords on his boat, because he plans on living on his boat quite often.
So the reason behind the 2 shore powers, so what we do is, you know, everybody, there's this 220-110 scenario which has been going on for years on boats, and what do you make your boat. So what we do is we give the client the option. You can have it at 220, you can have it at 110, but you can plug into either voltage wherever you are, and we put a multi-voltage charger on. So if you plug it into a 220, the boat essentially is still a 110 boat, but it'll convert that and charge the battery bank. So we've eliminated that.
Everything's running off the lithium-ion battery.
Everything's running either directly off the lithium or through the inverter.
Exactly.
So so the shore power now is not to run an AC, it's simply to keep your battery bank charged. So if it's a 210 boat, or 220 boat, then all the equipment aboard's 220 ACs, but you'll be able to plug into either power and carry on going.
Yeah, it's such an advantage,
Yeah.
really. Yeah, it's such an advantage. Well, Roger, thank you.
Pleasure, Phil. Great.
Good to see you.